We must show our Christian colors if we are to be true to Jesus Christ. Do not let us mistake necessary evils for good. Look for yourself, and you will find in the long run only hatred, loneliness, despair, rage, ruin, and decay. But look for Christ, and you will find him, and with him everything else thrown in. Solemnity is proper in church, but things that are proper in church are not necessarily proper outside, and vice versa. For example, I can say a prayer while washing my teeth, but that does not mean I should wash my teeth in church. Eros will have naked bodies, friendship, naked personalities. If the whole universe has no meaning, we should never have found out that it has no meaning, just as, if there were no light in the universe and therefore no creatures with eyes, we should never know it was dark. Dark would be without meaning. The value of myth is that it takes all the things you know and restores to them the rich significance which has been hidden by the veil of familiarity. What we call man's power over nature turns out to be a power exercised by some men over other men with nature as its instrument. Affection is responsible for 9/10 of whatever solid and durable happiness there is in our lives. To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love is not something that can be forced. It comes naturally when it is nurtured with care. No one ever told me that grief felt so like fear. The heart never takes the place of the head, but it can, and should, obey it. We may ignore, but we can nowhere evade the presence of God. The world is crowded with him. He walks everywhere incognito. The lion, all began with a picture of a fawn carrying an umbrella and parcels in a snowy wood. This picture had been in my mind since I was about 16. Then one day, when I was about 40, I said to myself, let's try to make a story about it. Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. With the possible exception of the equator, everything begins somewhere. It's so much easier to pray for a boar than to go and see one. We all want progress, but if you're on the wrong road, progress means doing an about-turn and walking back to the right road. In that case, the man who turns back soonest is the most progressive. No man knows how bad he is till he has tried very hard to be good. The Christian does not think God will love us because we are good, but that God will make us good because he loves us. I sometimes wonder whether all pleasures are not substitutes for joy. Telling us to obey instinct is like telling us to obey people. People say different things, so do instincts. Our instincts are at war. Each instinct, if you listen to it, will claim to be gratified at the expense of the rest. I gave in, and admitted that God was God. Reason is the natural order of truth, but imagination is the organ of meaning. A man who is eating or lying with his wife or preparing to go to sleep in humility, thankfulness and temperance, is, by Christian standards, in an infinitely higher state than one who is listening to Bach or reading Plato in a state of pride. Miracles are a retelling in small letters of the very same story which is written across the whole world in letters too large for some of us to see. We do not want merely to see beauty, we want something else which can hardly be put into words, to be united with the beauty we see, to pass into it, to receive it into ourselves, to bathe in it, to become part of it. The pain I feel now is the happiness I had before. That's the deal.